On November the 2nd, 1970, my first encounter with integration was when we moved on Bush Boulevard, and I was 12 years old, entering the sixth grade, and I had three younger siblings that were attending that school also with me. We, it was new to us. We'd never experienced anything like that before. Well, the first encounter that I experienced was I was taking home economics in class in the school, and they were having a beauty show, a pageant. Like this lady from one of the local boutiques were coming with dress wear for us to try on, and just show off for her to kind of get some sales for her. Well, my parents filled out the application, and I met all the qualifications. Well, on the day of the pageant, I wasn't selected. What she did, she looked and she saw that I was black, and she selected all the other girls, ones who did not meet the qualifications. And I was just left standing there. The second encounter was when one evening we were on our way home from school, my sisters and brothers and I, and we walked. And it was this car with a load of white boys, teenagers, maybe high schoolers, and we recognized one of the boys from the eighth grade was in the car. We were walking, and they almost just chased us down in the car. Had it been not, we jumped over this railing that led to our house, they probably would have ran over us. And when we told our parents about it, they went up to the school and talked to the principal. And we told him that we recognized one of the guys who was in the car. So what he did at that time was he expelled the boy and told my dad that, we wouldn't have any more problems like that. I remember one time I was at the pencil sharpener sharpening my pencil, and there was a big window where you can look out toward the playground. And I remember looking out, seeing this boy chasing my sister all over the playground, throwing rocks at her, pulling her hair, and all sorts of things. So I asked my teacher if I may be excused, and she said yes. So however, she had no idea what I had planned. I proceeded out to the playground. I picked the bat up from the playground, and I began to beat him with it and chased him. Well, of course, I got in trouble, and my mother was called. And the next day, my mother and my father came up to the school, and they had a talk with the principal and told them that if they had any more encounters having to come up there because of stuff that we were doing to defend ourselves against the other kids at the school, they were going to call the NAACP, SCLC, and anybody else that they could find that could help and file charges against them. Well, after that day, we didn't have any more problems. The next year, another black family came and their children were there. And each year, we began to receive more and more black children in the elementary school. After that, we became friends, best friends with some of the students, and I mean, they just began to love on us, and their parents began to love on us. And I can appreciate that time because now my grandsons are in a predominantly white school. Two of them were the first blacks on their basketball team. My niece Victoria, she was the first black to enter a pageant at her school. I have a niece who was the first black cheerleader. I have another niece who was the first black basketball player on the girls' team. So this just goes to show how, things can change and things can get better. They didn't have to encounter what I encountered when I first entered a school that was predominantly white. So I'm proud of them.